This is the joys of not having a unit. One, having to do things in the road, and two, in the pissing rain. Whoa! So today I'm going to be unmodifying the Fiesta by fitting some new springs to it. And you might be thinking, how are you unmodifying a car by fitting new springs to it? Surely that's just modifying it. But no, let me explain. So as you can see at the minute, the ride height on the back of the car is actually super low. And with these new spaces on, I barely have any room whatsoever. However, if we come around to the front of the car, you can see that we have an absolutely enormous gap. Basically, this car's got no lowering springs on the front, but it's got them on the back. So that is what I'm going to sort out. I'm going to take the lowering springs off the rear, put normal ones in, basically because I hate the car looking like it's doing a wheelie and I don't want the tyre rubbing on the rear arch all the time because it just does my head in. Let's get the car jacked up, take the wheel off again, and then swap this rear suspension over for the new springs, and hopefully it looks a lot better. And can come off. And now with the wheel off, I can get access to the lower part of the shock, which all I need to do is disconnect this bolt here, and then hopefully you should be able to get this old nasty spring out, which doesn't really feel to be doing anything anyway. And it is raining again, but I'm committed. We're going to do it in the rain, no matter what. This is the joys of not having a unit. One, having to do things in the road, and two, in the pissing rain. There's the bolt for the shock out. Be able to hopefully somehow come on. Seems extremely precarious, but whoa! That was a bit harder than I thought it was going to be, but there is the old lowering spring, which is yellow. You can see is much bigger, and this is the new one that we're going to be fitting back in. This one's probably going to be more of a pain in the ass than that one, to be honest with you, because it is bigger. Realised I need 400 arms. It is so close to being on. Whew, that was a workout. I didn't lose my fingers. The new spring is in. I was just, look, my arm battered against this, but yeah, that one's in. Let's get the shock absorber down there, tighten back up, and then we can do the other side and see how it looks. She's tight. And now I can chuck the wheel back on, like that. You may notice I've only got 3 nuts, and that's because I refuse to put lockers on, because 1, they either round, 2, you lose the locker and wheel nut thing, and 3, I can't be bothered. Out. Much better. And then we have the new rear suspension on, and look, that is so much better. I can get 2 things in there now, and that is not always going to rub on the new wheels. And with the wheel spacers on, it is also going to avoid it, which is an added bonus. Plus, the front is still a little bit too high, but we are a bit more even now across the car. So I'll get the other side sorted now, but that is really how easy it is to change the rear suspension on your own car. 1 bolt, thing comes out, new one goes in, 1 bolt, wheel goes back on, bosh.